Okay, if you can't find us, whatever, just stand down here, be fine. Just stand down here. Okay, everybody, so you can't really call it a dugout as such, but this is where the Arsenal party will be. The visitors are over there. This young man knows something. It's Arsene Wenger's seat. So, Mr. Wenger, sit there. His assistant there, physiotherapist there, kit man, club doctor, masseur. Sounds good to me. Sounds good. By God, what a substitute bench this is, eh? God help us. When we let you on second half, God help us, eh? And between the white barriers, that's where all the, you can see some of the seats say players only. That's where injured players, players not selected, coaching staff, medical staff, all those closely associated with the playing side, that's where they'll all sit. Now, one other important person has sat in there. About 18 months ago, we had a gentleman who came over from America to train with us for 6 weeks. He was trying to get fit to win 100 caps for England. One, Mr. Beckham. So, Mr. Beckham actually came to watch 2 of the games here, and he actually sat exactly where you're sitting. So you're absolutely you're rubbing bums with Beckham there. I'm sure some of the ladies would prefer to do it, but there we are. So when you're ready to swap with him, I won't say a word to Posh. Don't worry, it'll be all right. Now, very interesting. Mr. Wenger sits seat number 13, which is you'd think a bit at odds with the man who's worried about the shape of the dressing room here. But the only thing, of course, is when he first came to the stadium, he sat in this seat. Now, have we got any French colleagues here? Anybody here from France? Good. Yeah. Well, love the French dearly, but whilst Arsene is not a shouter, he is still French, and you do have a habit of waving your arms, oh mon Dieu, and all that. So Arsene was doing that. He kept banging his arms there. So that's why he swapped over with his physiotherapist. Now, the flooring here, you can see it's a slightly different colour to all the rest of it all the way around. That's because underneath there, it's all wired up. So in there, the dark days of winter, November, December, January, when it's bitterly cold, this is all heated. We put the switch on and this is heated. So our substitutes have got lovely warm feet, ready to go. That side? Dream on, dream on, dream on. No way. At the back here, in the corner, you can see the grey boarding up here. That's the press box. So that's where the journalists sit to watch the game. They got monitors in front of them. They get instant replays of every incident. So really, they ought to get it right. The pitch doesn't look too bad, does it? The thing is, it will look like that after the last game of the season. I promise you, it will look as good as that after the last game. What we do at the end of every season, we rip the top surface off and lay a new pitch. What's underneath there is a man-made plastic fibre called deso grass. So that's laid down, sand, soil, all the stuff goes on top, then the new grass seeds. And when the new grass seeds start to develop, and say the roots start to develop, what, in layman's terms, what happens, this deso grass grips the roots of the grass so tightly that on a wet day, somebody makes a big sliding tackle, you don't even see a mark on the pitch. Far less, 10, 15 years ago, you'd have got a great divot of earth come up. You don't get any of that now, but it's because of this deso grass. And the groundsman, last year, they won the Groundsman of the Year award again, win it most seasons. The various reasons for that, the most obvious is that the staff know what they're doing. But they do get a lot of artificial aids to help them. Now you can see there are some baby little lighting rigs along there. Well, we have some very large lighting rigs as well, enough to cover one half of the pitch one day, and then we move them onto the other half of the other day. That's, again, in the middle of winter when it's dark by 4 o'clock and there's no sunlight. So what the big bits of apparatus are long pieces but all the way along are arms that come up, and under all the arms are bulbs that are as near as you're ever going to get to replicating sunlight. So in the dark days of winter, the grass grows like it had summer sunshine shining on it. And these little rigs are just for specific areas of the pitch that might be worn. And they're big bits of apparatus, but they're so lightweight that when you move them on a wet day, don't even leave a tyre mark, so they're very good. So that's on the pitch. Under the pitch, the groundsman doesn't even have to leave his office. Press a switch one way, fresh air and oxygen blows up from below the ground to the roots of the grass. And that's temperature controlled. So if it snows, frosty, icy, adjust the temperature and that air will be warm and it will immediately melt any snow, frost or ice. Then if it pours with rain for quite a few days and it's very, very wet, you can reverse that process. So instead of putting the thing that way, put it the other way, and instead of blowing air up, it will suck. So all water and moisture then just goes straight through the pitch. So you're never going to have a game called off here because of the condition of the pitch. The roof is also shaped in such a way that all the rainwater collects. It is then pumped down funnels into tanks below ground level, so that when the groundsman puts the sprinklers on the pitch to water it, the water he uses is rainwater that we've collected and not out of the local reservoir. So A, it's better for the pitch, there are no additives to it at all, and more ecologically friendly. Now, if you look at the front of the upper tier of the stand over there, you can see it says 1930, the silhouette of the FA Cup, the first trophy the club ever won. And it goes all the way around the stadium, years we've won trophies with silhouettes of those trophies. 27 major trophies in all, back round to 2005, which does seem a long time ago now, doesn't it? I think it's time we did something about that. There is a big space left there for 2010, you know, but if not, we might have to start putting our ladies' trophies up, I think. They win everything, the girls. So, there we are. When the game's on television from the stadium here, up the top here behind us where it says 1950 right down to 1971, that's all the camera positions right at the very front of the upper tier, and the commentator will sit immediately behind where it says 1953. So that's where the main cameras will be. And then of course there are other cameras. If you look up behind the goal where it says between 91 and 90, behind 1991, there's a little cage there, so that camera will go there, so it looks right down the pitch, so if there's a penalty or whatever, you get that lovely shot of the penalty. Same that end, and on the halfway line over there you can also see a camera position. And there are certain other fixed cameras like that look along the edge of the penalty area to see if it was a penalty, wasn't it a penalty. So, as I say, that's where it all happens. Anyway, by the look of you, I must have done another 7 or 8 minutes, because the gentleman there's yawning, so that tells me I've done 7 or 8 minutes again. It's time for me to get out of the way and let you take some photographs, okay?
Hayır, yok, sen de verme. Bak, gelin. Gelin, mal, gelin.